Coaches are talking about building the pool of players, and I'm sure this is just the best stage for building that pool at the COSAFA Cup, because that's when you now let Namibia without Hoto and many other common names, your Shalulile and all that, and then the coach will now know who my new hitman is.
Well, certainly in need of a new hitman. Shalulile not involved in the last batch of qualifiers, out injured. Tamamilo December, watch out for Garombe wearing the number 3 jersey. Plays for the University of Namibia. Zagarombe. Now, Angola here on the sunny side with Bandoni. Really, Paul looking for the movement in the attacking areas. Nicely done. And keeping it moving and quick to get numbers in and around the final third are the Namibians. Ambanda. Mbira. Neither one of these two keepers has been tested just yet. If you are just joining us inside the first 5 minutes. Last game for the Angolans at last year's tournament against Lesotho in the group stages. Game they won 4-2. Lesotho still went on to compete in the final, but their scorers were Kangwe, Amor, Gonsalves, and Moseka. Thoroughly entertaining game that gave us 6 goals. Having won 2 matches in a row in the Highlights-COSAFA Cup since 2022 out in Durban when they beat Comoros and Seychelles 3-1 and 3-0, scoring 6 goals in 2 matches. It's a story for the Angolans as Ambira goes out wide and Namibia look to exploit that far side. Good numbers, good work in winning it back here for the Angolans. Now, so India pushing forward here, and a chance to turn and face a challenge on the edge of the box. Sperna, did he keep that alive? The answer is no for the end plays his tough football for Boa Vista out in Portugal. We find that this is a story for a good few of these Angolan players that play abroad in Portugal. That's a lovely challenge. Didn't go further than the first round, even with that heavy win over Lesotho out in Durban last year. Angola looking for a good start rather than a good ending to the group this time around. Get the decision with the throw-in. Paul not allowed to leave the Angolan half for the time being, working its way back to Nganga. Now, put a space on that far side. Option in the middle of the park with Maestro nicely done and keeping it moving. So, numbers getting into the box here. Oh, you can see what the intention was to maybe pull it back to the man arriving late to the box, just out of reach then. And doing a good job of opening it up here with Manzoni. Challenge to win it back. Nice little touch to keep it moving onto that far side with the right back, Kage. Showman to keep it moving in the middle of the park here. The Angolans. Berna is the man as far as he gets it set. Settle now. Right-footed kick this way. Walt does his job. Oh, the Namibians. Berna push it all the way back here to Langanga. Under pressure, forced to go with safety first. And a few of his teammates aren't in agreement with his decision to go with safety. They felt they still could have played themselves out of that situation.
Very important to just kick it out when you don't know how to just, especially when you're pressurized, how to just control it, rather play it safe. It looks stupid, but it works. Sometimes when you keep some things simple, and they don't look good, but the whole idea is not to look good, it's to be safe.
Well, throwing here to the Namibians, and decision going against them as they're grabbing at the opponents. Well, it's an interesting story when you look at the Namibian story. They started off in the group stages, then were runners-up in 99, quarterfinalists in 2000, exited in the first round every year after that until 2008, where they were quarterfinalists for 3 years in a row, and then winners in 2015. Followed that up with 3 quarterfinal exits. Last runners-up in 2002. Zakambanda, another of the African stars players in the back four, as mentioned earlier.
I'm sure you saw Namibia when they got onto the pitch to warm up. They looked a very happy bunch, singing loudly and just keeping the smile. And so far, so good. If you want to enjoy it, keep smiling.
Well, if you want to keep smiling, keep winning.
That's the next task.
Well, to keep winning, you need to keep scoring goals as well.
It's just a game. Can't be tense. Have fun.
Offside here. Movement on the near side. Easy to pick up for the far side official. Fatia Jamumi. Now, Angola with Sandro. They, of course, do have a couple of players in the heart of their defense that play their football for Atletico Petroles at Luanda. That's being Vitinho as well as Mindinho. Kenya.
Angolans are all over that midfield with their 3-5-2, plus the 4 from the Namibians. So everything just ends up in the middle there. And if you try to build up from there, there's always a body just attacking the ball.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned a little bit earlier, no Dion Hotto for the Namibians. Dion Hotto, of course, the top goal scorer in the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Followed up by Hinju with 5 goals. Hotto on 6 goals, by the way. Kambindu, a man with 4. Or Shilongo, another with 4. As we look back at the foul. Hasn't been the most free-flowing of games, is it, in the opening 15 minutes?
Yeah, stop-start and hard tackles and just not flowing as it should be. But also before you flow, you've got to settle. So we shouldn't expect a lot. It's only first 15 minutes.
Nice touches here as Namibia look to try forward, created an angle for the shot, and that would have been wide by some distance. Chance for the counter. Good hard running out on that far side and century here for the Angolans. The ball easy though for Ndisiro. Well, for the Namibians, it's worth noting they've never had the beating of the Angolans as the shot comes in. Then from a typical triangle, keeper is well placed. Another follow-up shot is blasted over. They are beginning to find the openings now and create some chances. First real shots in anger in this match. Mizel amongst those involved. The Black Leopards, man.
But when you get a chance like that, you don't blast it. Look at the far post, work it low, way over target. Keeper put under pressure, and that's Museu. And that's where the chance goes a begging.
Now, Angola, patience with their build-up. Played 2 draws these nations in the past, with the Angolans winning on 2 occasions. And of course, in the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup, comfortable pick up this for Ndisiro. Considered the early ball, they just weren't any options open to him. So, we'll build from the back then. Has been a bit of a stop-start affair inside the opening 20. So, chance now for Lagana to organize. So, some distance here, but going for goal by the look of it are the Namibians. No problems with that shot coming in then from Petrus. Yeah, Cape Town City, man.
That was ambitious of Petrus. Yeah. From that distance, he wasn't going to score. Why didn't he just try to find bodies in the box? Make it look like a set piece you worked on, but we all understand that the coaches had to assemble the players quicker, and that proper training will start after their opening matches. Also, he shall have seen a lot where they are lacking, just like the game that we come from. The previous coach said, I'll work on the defense. The Lesotho coach said, Notsi, I'll work on the defense, I'll work on the attack. Because the attack is the one that he really needs to work on.
Well, they'll both be watching on, both those nations and the technical teams, of course, studying Angola and Namibia. They haven't allowed each other to establish a rhythm here. The fouls are coming there consistently.
And Bena seemed to always become the victim of those niggly challenges. It's not hard tackles, it's just niggly that kills the rhythm of the game.
Nicely done defensively here. And looking to comfortably play it out, even though pressure is being applied right from the front from the Namibians. Ambira happy to settle for the goal kick as he accompanies the ball, keeping Ferdinand Bate. What is interesting is looking up the Angolan players that have played in the past. Aqua, the top goal scorer, Love with the same amount of goals as Aqua at the COSAFA Cup. Flag up at the far side. 5 goals at this. Platinho with 4. Flavio, many of you may remember from Al Ahly back in the day, with 3, as well as Mabululu and Mateus. Well, they are in a hurry, very patient with the build-ups of the Angolans. went down onto that far side. The referee's blown his whistle and moves over towards Berna.
That was purely accidental.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate, Berna. He's been the man hitting the floor all the time, but this time it wasn't even intentional. Kasume, sorry, Kasume is just pleading his innocence.
Still struggling is Berna. Could have, of course, treated him just outside of the field. It's not too far from the touchline out on that far side. A couple of moments here. There's one. Whoopsie. And another. And I guess who is, well, Mansoni, who's enjoying toying with the opponents.
I like that, especially from the defender, because he just came out of that situation so coolly. Often any player will open the legs when you try to pass to stop the ball, and that's when you nick it, but nick it at the right time.
Now, it's much in the way of clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities if you are just joining us here. Because ball possession at 50-50, they pretty much have cancelled each other out here in these early exchanges. Two very different types of matches we are experiencing today from the earlier game between...
That's the earlier game. That's when Lesotho was in action, and
against Seychelles.
Against Seychelles, and then that's where we saw Lesotho all over their opponents until things were leveled or matters were leveled. But this time it's just even and not even giving an idea of where the scale is tilting. Is
one side is dominating
towards
the other?
No, it's not tilting towards Angola, no Namibia. It's just not having a go at each other, very little scoring opportunities.
Well, it's been a low-scoring tournament thus far. With just the one match, seeing one team score 2 goals, that being Kenya. Everybody else when they have scored, it's been just 1 goal when they have scored. Good strong work in the defense then by Mandinho. Another of the Atletico Patriots, the Luanda players.
But mark my words, after getting the feel of the first matches, this is the last of the first match round. So you'll realize that they shall have just gained confidence and dusted the dust on themselves and believing in what they can do now. Because they know that you cannot lose or draw throughout the tournament. You've got to start winning at some point.
Yep. Now, that's down in the hustle in the middle of the park then by Ruambe. Strong and protecting the ball in, and winning the throw in is Mandinho. What is interesting with the unpredictability of the game, having a chat again, looking at this, or today's games I should say. Yesterday with a few of the colleagues, we predicted this would be the much better game to watch, although the earlier game may have had goals. Earlier game didn't have too many goals, but good game of football it was, intense, edge of your seat type stuff towards the end. And of course everybody loves a story where David gives it to Goliath, which is the case for the Seychelles, who would have walked away maybe winners in their minds, even though it ended with a 1-1 scoreline. Now, both these sides still struggling and trying to work it into the final third, break down each defense and ask some serious questions of the goalkeepers.
Would you say from all the matches that we've witnessed so far, Kenya one was the most predictable one, where predictable in terms of who is going to win that one?
Kenya, Zambia?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that.
That's why I say, who would you say?
No. That for me was the big shock of the tournament. including Seychelles and Lesotho at 1-1, but the Kenya obviously the bigger shock, beating the defending champions, most successful nation in the tournament.
I like the way I phrased it. Would you say? So I can't argue with you because I was asking.
Picking my brain, so to speak. Now, middle of the park, yes, the Angolans looking to drive on. And both these sides have made it a tough midfield battle here. And they struggled in moments like this where they're trying to get in behind that defense. Frustration here for Pickers as the ball is played in towards him. Plays his tough football, the men wearing the number 7 jersey for the Angolans for Viliense out in Portugal. The movement here on the near side, Namibia unable to make hay of that situation. Defenders did enough to put off Namib.
I thought Namib will get a corner out of it. It was just a little late. They both starting from the back with confidence, but there's something that is just not happening in the last third. Would you maybe believe that the defense is solid? No, not tested. Maybe it's the how to just go past that defense. Neither of the keepers have made a save to, I mean, what, 30th minute almost? Nothing memorable from both keepers.
No. Well, it could be coming up now with Namibia unable to find the eye of the needle. That was easy to read defensively. Oh, and then, you know, now, time forward of the Angolans. Can they create a chance here? Ball in towards the near post. Finding men in attendance. Working hard to ensure it doesn't cause any problems. Now, is there a legal challenge on that far side? Have seen one yellow card so far in this match.
Interesting that the man who has gone down more than anyone on the pitch is the one that committed that foul. He just thought, Bernard, enough is enough, it's my turn.
So there you have it, the yellow cards going to Bernard.
He's not happy. Must be thinking, why me?
Yeah, that's why he was late to the challenge. Approaching. In fact, we've reached the half-hour mark in this encounter. 15 remaining in this first half. No choice just yet with the attempts to win headers and create chances when they do go wide. Not much in the way of clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Of course, for the Namibian supporters, they will love the effect their countrymen has had in football on the continent from an international standpoint. Also in club football, a good number of their players over the years now have been in the big South African League, the DStv Premiership, the likes of Virgil Fries for a long time now. Have hung around, and those numbers have been adding up from a Namibian point of view.
Even the assistant coach of Namibia, Ronnie Kanalelo, played for Sundowns, if you can recall.
Goalkeeper, yeah.
Big guy.
Used to model as well, if memory serves me right.
No, I've always known him on the soccer side.
So that's maybe Christopher Pongo might be aware of that. Former player and model himself from back in the day, an analyst in the way of football. But here's the challenge that's late here. Set pieces to Namibia. Of the matches we've seen so far, this the one with the lowest tempo and the least amount of intensity in the competitive edge between the two sides. Right from the opening match between Botswana and Eswatini, they were going at each other. It was lively football. Now, could work out on the far side and eliminating one. In the end, the defense stands strong from a Namibian point of view.
It's one of those games that you sit back and say, what can the two teams do? And the answer is very simple. Try to go wide. Try to play to a midfielder. Then get the blind run. We haven't seen an overlapping run anyway. So you hold the ball in the middle, you delay, and this guy makes that extra run, add a wing. That's why that run makes it easier. You saw the goal that we enjoyed yesterday. That was just that extra run, flipped back, whipped in a cross in the back of the net. That's how it should be. Be creative. That was also from the left side.
Yep.
Left side of where we seated.
Also, when you consider the goal Seychelles scored against Lesotho, where they had it wide on this right side, on the near side, and ball played into the box. Men coming in from the blind side, getting the head of the defender, job done. Now, Angola going over that halfway line now. Haven't quite gotten it together going in towards that final third. It's all very narrow and central. That's easier for the Lesotho defense to deal with. Another decision going in favor of the Namibians. A bit of frustration being shown here by the Captain Ambia, the African Stars man. Interesting that Shadile's name does pop up against or amongst men from Namibia that have found the back of the net at the Highlights-COSAFA Cup, but just on one occasion. He's amongst a big group of players from Namibia that have scored just one goal. Best also in there. Now, really pull forward and defensively. Angola able to deal. Now, it's the Angolans again with a ball in towards the far post. It's overcooked the effort from Karuombe. Practice Namibia. So we're pushing forward. Karuombe then getting into a good position. Yeah, there's a near side, the youngster. Recently breaking into the senior national team. Did have the one target to aim for on the near post, however.
In fact, the nearest man than the near post was the ideal person. There was a blue shirt just in front of him. You don't always have to whip them there. Played in the box, played to feet. No one wanted or was going to touch him. You play the most uncomfortable balls to your teammate that is uncomfortable for the opposition. Because when you play that ball in the box and he's running into it and the defenders are running towards him, they don't want to touch him, they want the ball.
Well, a few of the youngsters in the stands will be hoping the action intensifies moving in towards the half-time break. It certainly improves in the second. Always felt it was the best time of the year when schools are closed in the winter time. Nothing worse than having to wake up early around 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready with school shoes and go to school as a youngster. Want to sleep in winter, hibernate.
Soft line. It's going to be hard sometimes if you want to achieve these things. Some of us were going to school barefoot in the winter, walking across the grass.
Yeah, I walked into that one.
They don't make them like they used to, eh?
So, sides here have created precious few clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, with Maestro now pushing it on to this near side with Mansoni. Here's Maestro again. You can get involved here in trying to find some creativity for this golden side. Now, has to down and finding space and time for the cross. will get the corner.
Nice little footwork there, and could have just been better if pickers could have just picked the right person in that box.
Well, a few of his teammates are out there giving options. He had a lovely bit of skill to buy some space, and there you have it. That tells a story as well. 37 minutes in, first corner of the match. It's all been stuck in midfield with both these sides really not finding a rhythm. Letting him know he's watching. There's a Kebe Sidintwa from Botswana, the match referee. On the near post. Yeah, Matabele FC player. Nicely done. Off his upper body rather than his hands. Upper body first, then the palms to work it away.
And also it's because of the dewy grass, so it just skids, and the keeper can't really time it to get it solid with both hands.
Space in the middle of the park to look forward here. Was a run being made on the far side, out to the left side, that would have possibly provided the option for the better pass. Rushed into the pass then as he looked to find the teammate, however. Well, it continues to be quite a contest physically here, as Namibia again do a good job of winning it back now. 4-2 situation. Angola quickly getting numbers back. Byline here for Namibia. Ball hung up in the air, and the long arms of Langanga once again coming to good effect. Took a hit on the way down.
Yeah, he seemed to have hurt himself there in a harmless ball. It was just a harmless ball that was played. Oh, calf strain. So he pulled all the muscles just to reach that ball.
Suggesting that contact was the reason for the pain. Then could have been a spot where the studs grazed the Achilles tendon, I suspect. It's because physically both these sides
they don't
give each other presence.
They don't give each other space this way.
There you go. Hasn't the best looking of clearances at the first time of asking, right across the box, and in the end they are in trouble here as Angola look to find a yard for the shots. Enough blue shirts back to ensure that doesn't happen. Now, chance at the counter-attack here. Pace needed to keep it alive, but it's been that sort of day. Beyond the 1 hour mark, still. Angola 0, Namibia 0. Tell you who'll be smiling. Lesotho and Seychelles who played earlier to a 1-1 scoreline. Similar scenario as, well, it's turning out to look like a similar scenario as the action on the opening day in Group A, but still, 29 minutes means a lot can happen still in one of these two sides eventually finding their groove or getting their groove back.
So what will happen when all 8 things are equal? In order to determine who goes through.
Look into that in a moment, and I'll let you know. There's still a lot of football to be played here before we can even entertain those sort of conversations here. Second and third round of matches to come our way.
But it happens in very often in tournaments, as recent as now. But also, I remember that was the case out in, where was it, in Equatorial Guinea, where Ghana was all equal with, I think, what country was that lost on a toss of a coin.
The teams moving on through from the group stages to, of course, the knockout stages. still in the first round of matches. Keep in mind, this is a first round match in Group C. Of course, there are those that are looking forward to the second round of matches where we will change venues to the Isaac Wilson Stadium. I'll tell you why, because there is a feeling that the turnout there, especially with schools being closed, could be encouraging from a fan point of view. Now, Angola. Probably still struggling to find the penetration they're looking for going forward. All happening in front of the Namibian team here. Yet another set piece. Interesting scenario it was yesterday where we saw Kenya, the invitational team, as we look back at this foul, beat Zambia. Kenya, of course, 7-time winners of the COSAFA. 7 times runners-up. Zambia 7 times winners of the COSAFA, 6 times runners-up.
And they came here and shows why they are winners, and they just came here and continue winning. Happy fans. Bota is among them. He's dressed differently today.
Looking like the Soul Brother with the afro. Soul Brother number 1, middle of your picture.
The youngsters were sleeping, not before Bota arrived.
Yeah, Bota's put some life into this venue. That's what he does. Now we finally know what he's been hiding under that white hat he wears every day. Perfect afro for Bota. All he's missing now is the afrochrome in the back of their head. Can Angola open the scoring from a dead ball situation? The ball in. Up to play Namibia, who, well, they played themselves into trouble here. Angola, with numbers in the park, still unable to find a breakthrough. Haven't been at their best, these sides, as far as passing and movement and flowing football.
Finding gaps, relaxing, being sort of creative. Someone comes with a different imagination, back heel, finding the gap, just getting someone to run onto that shot or pass. I've just seen one beautiful pass though, and that's the one that was hit straight into the hands of the keeper. Pass back into the hands of the keeper.
Yeah. 3-time winners, 1-time runners-up, 1-time bronze medalists. That's being Angola. Looking to force the issue here. Going forward in the second half. As far as invitational teams, Tanzania here in the men's game as I finished third. Now, good movement here. Again, very well watched defensively here and not allowing the striker to get goal sides. Angola still probing. They're going to keep in the shape here. The Namibians on the defensive end, making life very difficult for the Angolans to find a way through. Nice stroke. Nice touch to bring it down, then kept it moving. 2 players coming together in front of him. Sandro. Vidinho. Attempt to get it forward behind the defense, easily read and dealt with. As Indinho keeps moving out to that far side. Now a chance for Angola to push forward into the final third. Good work to eliminate the defender. In the end, they will be happy with the corner.
He didn't touch it. He didn't touch it. That is where the argument is. He went for a tackle. The ball went out under his foot, and the assistant referee gave it, and he was right there as we see Da Silva coming on.
That one is the man that will make way. Plays his club football out in Belgium at that moment earlier on, where he, well, in the first half, lit a fire in a couple of players. Pull it to the near post. Oh, the header was looking good for an opening goal, then just wide from just about point blank range. Then Tepu, the man who beat this hero to it.
The worst thing for such in-swingers is when the keeper is left in no man's land. His hands were hanging in the air, and he turned his head away because he didn't know where the ball was.
Well, the Angola is trying to close down right from the front here. Well, doing a good job of it. Their best moment of the match, by the way, Angola. An attempt from Tepu. Further frustration here with the ball going out for the goal kick, just when it looked as though they could keep the pressure on. I'm going to tell you, the man defending, doing a good job for the Namibians. So changes to be made here, and it's Namibia to make them with 20 minutes to go. Kamatuka is coming on. And Elago, another player coming on. Not done. We also have Maharero. So those players join Amudenya, who's already coming off the bench from a Namibian point of view. Nice job. Well, still looking to force the issue going forward here. The Angolans, a set, or rather goal kick it will be. Well, Zimbabwe, even though they missed out on a few years in the way of international football, that's a few Highlights-COSAFA Cups, still just within one title of matching the Zambian total of 7 titles. 6 times winners of the Zimbabweans. Impressive enough start with their win. Now, nice stroke. Working it out wide, then Three getting in the box again. Namibia very good at getting numbers back defensively here. Nice try again. Keeping it moving on with Lucas. Sandro. For some time and space. Well, first touch heavy. Showing way too much to the defender then.
And not only heavy, but also as he receives it from an opponent, it was like forcing him to stretch the foot. So, no decent pass to the teammate there. Oops, as the ball hits the face.
Dangerous play, I think, is the reason why the set piece was called. And you can see Sandro's leg just about head height. Nice show. Oh, Reds defensively, just when it looked as though Maestro might find a telling ball right in the heart of that Namibian defense. Good movement off the ball. Now, is that a penalty? The referee right next to the action. Not convinced, and you know what that means?
It's a dive. It's a yellow card. Simulation. Not touched at all, and the referee was there, Sizwe.
Yep, Kamatuka has just come on here, going into the referee's book. Edmar Kamatuka plays for Skukuna United. Under 14 minutes remaining on the clock. Man down here inside the center circle in the colours of Angola. It's Domingos, plays for Atletico Petroles de Luanda. So, let's have a look at the earlier moments here. And that penalty shot for the Namibians, definitely no touch then. Put a little bit extra onto the dive and ended up in the referee's book. Go with it, 3 wins. Angola have finished runners-up on one occasion, bronze medalists on another, runners-up back in 2006, and bronze medalists in 98. Namibia with their 1 win as a COSAFA champion, 3 times runners-up. Now that's good movement, lovely ball to spot the run, but once again the Namibians doing a good job of keeping up with the movement on the far side. Defensively they have been spot on, the Namibians. You can understand why with the way they've defended. The men from Angola had no chance at goal in the first half. With the header that time around, but Depu gets it horribly wrong. A tussle for every inch with the defender. As we look at the early attempt by Depu, then he got that touch on the near post ahead of the goalkeeper, just didn't get enough meat onto it to steer it into the back of the net. Couple of goal attempts for the Angolans here in the second half, whereas they had none in the first. 8 for the Namibians. Again, not much to write home about in the way of the quality of the chances. Pace out on that far side. They have been strong and stubborn in defence here, strong enough and stubborn enough to frustrate Depu. He's continued to work hard with very little service here this evening, approaching the last 10 minutes of this game. Again, not much separating these sides, which was the story of the first half in ball possession stats. Maestro running out of space on that far side again, very closely watched as they look to push forward. Angola did have that beating of Namibia in the Africa Cup of Nations with a 3-0 scoreline. The 2-0 win over Burkina Faso before that, and a 3-2 win over Mauritania. That slows it down from the front here from the Namibians. Not the best of clearances. And it's allowed to bounce in the box, but in the end, Langanga is there to collect.
We've seen a few of such from the Angolan defenders. I think this is the third. One of those baby comeback kind of clearance.
Attempted the 1-2. Numbers back defensively means it's read and dealt with by the Namibians.
They're attacking each other relentlessly, but not with any penetration or sort of a stroke of genius here and there.
Yep. It's been comfortable going and reading each other's moves here and dealing with the attempts to attack. Angola up next against the Seychelles. Now that's once again a well-read move defensively then to cut out the danger on that right side. Isiro. Namibia will face Lesotho next. Oh, one thing both the nations watching on will be able to say about both these sides is they are strong physically and can't compete or can compete in that side of the game. It will be interesting to see how they fare against those two nations when they all cross paths. We do of course return to Group A action tomorrow with Mozambique firstly taking on Eswatini at the Isaac Wilson Stadium. Then South Africa taking on Botswana later on in the day. Keep in mind, in Group A, everybody on 1 point with no side having come up with a win just yet. One earlier today, and by the looks of things here, if this ends with a no-no scoreline, it will mean Group P, the only group to give us winners after the first round of matches. It will be odd. Zimbabwe beating Comoros, 1-0. Kenya beating Zambia, 2-0. Mentioned the draws. 0-0 with Eswatini and Botswana, 1-1 with Mozambique and South Africa, 1-1 earlier between Lesotho and Seychelles. It's looking as though it'll end with a no-no scoreline unless there is some late drama in this match here, which will very much be like the results from day one in Group A. strong in the play on that occasion. Go. Namibia quick to get numbers behind the ball here, making it difficult for the Angolans to forage forward. Vitinho. Sandro. Looking down the line, then good movement. Keeper's coming a long way out of his or off his line and dealt with it beautifully. Now, run out to the far side, but again it's well read. Saw that pass before it came, then knew it was coming, having read the run, and did a good job of dealing with it. Did Silva amongst the men that's coming in the second half in this encounter. Still a chance for a late winner in this match. So, Namibia probing on the edge of the box, in Angola having enough numbers back to ensure there is no danger to the goal, at least not for the time being. That's good hard running, and in the end it's gone off for the goal kick. Pretty much sums up the day so far for both these nations. Good hard running on that occasion by Elago, Simon Elago, the Ongos FC man out in Namibia. Unfortunate not to be able to keep it alive as he got to the byline. Now, again, it's well, not the best of clearances, and in the end, better communication could have seen them deal with it better. To Silva, opting to go with safety first. Kamatuka called for the foul here, tried to outwit the Silva, who was wise to his intentions, and in the end, in his frustration, committed the foul here, as another change will be made by the Angolans. Pedro Agostinho will be coming on, plays for Club Desportivo de Luanda. Making way, there's a Domingos. Well, we are inside the last 3 minutes of time added on. Another player has gone down here, which will bring the game to a halt. This time, it's one of the Namibians, possibly suffering from cramp. So, there is Potter, hard at work. Soul brother number one, Saturday, Mozambique taking on Eswatini. Midday, the kick-off a little bit earlier out at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll have South Africa taking on Botswana. All those teams will be looking to end the day top of Group A. Keep in mind the first round of matches in that group all ended in draws. Everybody on 1 point. Last minute of the 90. Both sides will look to improve upon their performances going into the second round of matches, especially on the offensive end where it just hasn't come together yet today. Maybe they haven't allowed each other to get at each other with the midfield battle that has ensued here. Very few goal-scoring opportunities. Then again, it has been a low-scoring tournament thus far as the ball is played in. Way too heavy. So, the hope is that the second round of matches will bring with them goals. Three minutes added on to the end of this match. Fourth official up with the sign, then right in Chimene from Zimbabwe. Well, the two nations that played earlier will certainly be happy with the way things are looking, and as far as a result, as Namibia being prepared to make a change. Lawrence Joseph is the man that will replace Karuambe. Joseph plays for Yeshoke Chula FC. So going towards the last minute of time added on here. Can one of these two nations find a moment of inspiration, which has very much been lacking in this match so far? Keep in mind you can't get